Well, Governor DeSantis discovered conservatives and a lot of progressives have at least one thing in common. They do not like the new way our students are taught and measured, commonly known as Common Core. President Trump, by the way, tapped into the same frustrations when he ran for president.
We cannot have the bureaucrats in Washington telling you how to manage your child's education. So Common Core is a total disaster. We can't let it continue.
Well, the funny thing is, Washington bureaucrats did not come up with Common Core. Conservative governors like Jeb Bush came up with it. They wanted to try to raise the bar.
Fewer, higher expectations that require critical thinking skills that are benchmarked to the best in the world.
And former President Obama did not force it on Florida. Former Republican Governor Rick Scott did.
Our schools will move to a Common Core system.
They set more rigorous standards in reading and writing and math. Students had to show a deeper level of mastery so that they would be more prepared for jobs in the new economy. Sounds great in theory, but looking back at the initial reactions, to many, it broke down from the start in practice.
It's stupid.
And it's absolutely idiotic.
I don't even understand the homework half the time.
Well, Common Core standards were just higher guidelines for what kids should know by the end of each school year. But the bureaucrats and the textbook writers took this as an opportunity to inject new methods into the curriculum. And a lot of parents were particularly confused and frustrated by the new math.
They're doing dividing as reverse subtraction and multiplication as reverse addition. It's like, why?
And on top of that, since these new standards were more rigorous, students got slammed with more homework.
My 7-year-old comes up to me and looks at me with tears in her eyes and says, "Miss Swope, you do know I'm 7, right?"
And on top of that, former President Obama, liking the higher standards in theory, tied federal school funding to how well students met those new standards. That was called Race to the Top. And teachers ramped up teaching to test, then preparing for tests, then reviewing the tests to prepare for more tests. Stuff like civics and art and music got pushed to the back burner.
It's overkill.
Those poor kids.
It's madness.
Well, Florida responded by making a couple of minor tweaks along the way, rebranded it as the Florida Standards, and tried to deny it was even aligned with Common Core.
We said that we're not. No, it's not.
That's what it says.
No, it's not.
Parents gave Governor DeSantis an earful about this, and that's why he is now scrapping it and starting over with new standards, new curriculum, and a renewed emphasis on civics.
When you complained about Common Core, I hear you. I told you I'd do something about it.
And of course, to frustrated parents, teachers, and students, that sounds great in theory. But a brief word of caution here. Remember, to many, Common Core also sounded great in theory. Before you grade Governor DeSantis on education, keep a close watch on what the new standards will be, what exactly they'll require our kids to learn, what the new textbooks will and won't cover, which methods they will use and demand. Florida schools are once again at another big fork in the road, and we'll see ultimately where this is all heading when they come up with the new system next year.